Best in podcast, the best in town. You wanna get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames, if you wanna go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
I'm Shannon Newth.
And we're
No Damn Experts.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
And you listening,
Happy
it's
Friday. Or whenever you're listening to it.
We have guests in the studio. I know what they're talking about.
Yay. That's different than normal. Just kidding.
I love these guests, so
Yes.
I'll let you do the honors.
Yeah, we have one return and one new. So we're excited to welcome Ashleigh from the History Museum back to the podcast, and Connie, the new executive director of our glorious History Museum. Thank you both for being here.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And Connie and I, we've had the chance to, as a team, get to talk with Connie, and then Connie and I happened to run into each other at our coworker Liz's church's block party this weekend. So
Oh my
we got to
goodness.
hang out there this weekend too.
Small town.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
right.
what happened. So let's get started before we dig into the deep, dirty things that we're going to talk about today. Connie, introduce yourself to our world. This is the first time they're hearing from you, so they want to know all about you, where you come from, what you do as a hobby. What's the weirdest thing you have ever done on one leg? Anything that you
Ooh.
feel like sharing, now is the time, but mostly how long have you been in Great Falls? Why are you here? What has happened?
Why am I here? I am here because I am so excited to be on this podcast.
Oh, there we go.
yeah.
I
Yes,
think that
that's the whole reason you
podcasts
came.
are a great way to share information. And so I'm here to also share information about the History Museum and Research Center,
Yes.
which I just became the new executive director on June 30th. And that brought me back to Great Falls. I have not lived in Great Falls for 25 years.
But you did used to live here.
I did. I grew up in Great Falls. I graduated from Great Falls High.
Great Falls kid.
Yes.
Ooh.
So I did all my growing up here in Great Falls. And so it's a wonderful return to this beautiful city. You know, you can't go wrong living along the Missouri River.
So true.
I would agree. What took you away from us for so long?
Well, I am an archaeologist by trade.
Which I think is just cool.
It really is.
Yeah, my recent class reunion, they said, "Oh, here's our Indiana Jones for the class." I did have a boulder chase me in the field once.
Oh,
Well,
Full
there you
on
go.
Indiana Jones
That's
moment.
legit. Yeah.
And you've
Oh,
fallen in a pit of snakes?
No pit of snakes. I dealt with a nest of snakes when I worked
See?
out at the First People's Buffalo Jump.
Same thing. Same
So-
thing.
So, yeah, I can cover those options.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But I went to the University of Montana in Missoula for my undergraduate, and then I chose to go to the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque, New Mexico for graduate school. So that's what took me away from Montana.
Yeah.
But then I did make it back 7 years ago. I managed to get a job in Bozeman, but I'm super excited to be back here in Great Falls now.
Yay.
Well, we are happy to have you back. And we don't need to dig into your past history, but
We've
if you
been there.
we have. So if
Any
you
updates? Any updates to your history?
She's listened to that. Take notes. Refer to George Montgomery. podcast.
Yes, right. Yes.
Yeah. So Ashleigh's been on before. She did share with us all about George Montgomery, which I learned there's a wonderful woman in town that I'm going to call my friend. She may be upset about this, but there's a George Montgomery statue in Fort Benton.
Yeah.
And while we were there talking about other things, she just looks at me and she goes, you know, that's my grandpa or my uncle.
What?
And I'm like, huh. Nope. Did an entire podcast on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know you were any relation to him. And so
Hey.
she went through and explained to me all about her uncle. And I'm like, I know about your uncle. Sorry.
It's like, I already
Ashleigh
know
told me
everything.
all about
or,
him.
or
Yeah.
grandpa. I can't remember which he is. So.
Relative of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go back and learn about George Montgomery.
Yeah.
You'll learn all about
Fun.
Ashleigh too. So,
That's right.
And did you guys get out to the cemetery to take a picture with him?
No, I've been to
To
this.
be fair, I have to do that too.
Is
I
it-
Yeah.
drove by him.
No, that's a good point. We did talk about that. I've been to the cemetery for other storytelling purposes, but not specifically for George. So
Yeah, you have to wave to him. I
Yeah.
always do that now. I'm like, oh, hey,
Hey,
George.
George.
I know you now.
Yeah, feel so
buddy.
connected.
hey,
Yeah.
buddy, old pal. But today we're going to learn a little bit more fun stuff
Mm-hmm.
about a road in Great Falls.
Yeah.
Bootlegger Trail, which
Mhm.
is not just
Inspired.
some random name, but if you are out there, you will probably run into the Benton Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah, it's a good place to end up.
It
Mhm.
is. And we've had them on the podcast as well.
Sure
But let's dig into the history of bootlegging in Great Falls just a little bit before we dig into other things.
Event inspired by it. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Everybody in the room just turned to me.
Yeah.
I thought,
We're like,
oh, I should have
Connie
made better
says
notes.
I don't know why I'm here now.
All you, Ashleigh.
Well, I always thought, like, growing up in Great Falls, oh, sure, they just called it that for,
Sure.
like,
Right.
tourism or something.
Yeah.
But it's true. That is the route that everybody took to go out and bootleg.
Oh.
If you visit the museum, you can see, I made this map of it that shows where the trail is. And there's a point, like, there used to be a river that you would have to cross
Really?
to get through that route in Canada. Doesn't exist now. There's
The
probably
river doesn't exist or the route?
it's like a creek, like
Oh.
a small
So
passage
you
of
can, like,
water.
step over it. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
Maybe. I should look up how thick that
Like
was.
how wide this thing is. Yeah.
Yeah, could you maybe just drive through it
Right.
if you had all
Is it
wheel
just
on
a
your
really big puddle?
Yeah.
What were those map makers thinking?
Yeah.
But now that's not there. After that little channel of water, however big it may be, the map surely knows, but not the map graphic maker. I drew all these little wild squiggly dotted lines to imply it's like we don't know like where
Oh.
Bootlegger goes after that, like exactly the route they take up to Canada to
Yeah.
do all that rum running. But it's kind of cool to visualize it. Yeah.
Was the primary purpose for bootlegging back when it was the Bootlegger Trail before it was a paved road that everybody drove on? Was it to get liquor into Canada, or were there other stops along the way? Like Johnny from Lewistown would be there to get some liquor for his speakeasy, and he'd be at stop B behind the tree
Right.
somewhere, just waiting.
That's a great question. I think it's mostly, just to get up there, and maybe if there's, maybe there's a big need for it in Sweetgrass on the down low. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's interesting research. Like all of the research that you do with this stuff is like oral history. Like you hear it from somebody. It's not stuff like
They
people
didn't
have
document it.
Yeah.
right? Like there are all
Keep
those
logs.
rumors about the Park Hotel and the mafia.
Right.
It's like it's not like the mafia had a little
Like
journal.
wrote down like this is what we did today.
Dear diary, today at the Park Hotel.
We killed
We
3
offed
people.
some people. Yeah.
Busy day, lots of fun.
XOXO.
1 and 3 deserved it, but number 2,
Yeah.
Right? So like when you're bootlegging, you don't have like a logbook of your sale, which would be so awesome.
If they did, right?
Like-
wouldn't that be a nice
If
piece
only.
of history?
that would be helpful.
If anybody did that, they probably stored it in the fire. Like
Yeah.
3
right.
jars vodka, 2
I am stopping at this latitude and longitude for
that'd be cool. Like imagine
Right.
the spreadsheet you could make out
No
of that.
kidding. Your design brain is just going crazy with that info. Yeah.
Can we work with that? But yeah, so there are these stories, and you hear a lot of this information, or you read it from the newspaper. So what was fun when we were working on that portion of the exhibition that talks about bootlegging is we looked up all these headlines for arrests made for bootlegging, and naturally that's something that's happening all over the country. Like there's probably a lot of pressure from the government saying like, why don't you advertise how much people are getting punished for this, or why don't you advertise how dangerous this liquor is? You know, it's making people blind. It's doing, which no doubt that probably happened.
Sure.
It made me blind on Saturday.
Right. Yeah.
There is the term blind drunk.
As well. There you go. Mm-hmm.
There's some basis there.
Mm-hmm.
But, and my favorite is still a woman of 70 convicted of bootlegging.
Oh,
Like,
saucy.
you know,
She'd be my friend.
She's part of our feisty women. Yeah.
everybody's got to make some money.
Right. Yeah.
Times were not exactly easy, especially when that major industry of, you know, the bars or the breweries, that's now no longer an option. So you're kind of scrambling to figure out how are you going to make it work.
So kids listening at home or in the car, one of the things you need to understand is there was a period of time when our government made liquor and beer and any kind of fun juice, adult fun juice, illegal. And that shut down an entire industry. And so what Ashleigh's referring to is the fact that you couldn't get a beer at a bar. There was no bars. You couldn't get a scotch or whiskey or anything. But there were some people continuing to make this product. There were some people underground still operating bars. We called those speakeasies back in the day. And then there were people distributing this product as well, which is what bootlegging was. So I realized we didn't start with the basics.
The description of what bootlegging is. Yeah.
Well,
And so there we go.
Perfect.
So the federal government prohibited liquor, which is where we get the term Prohibition-era, because liquor was prohibited at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And Prohibition, I'm not good with history. Do you know, does anybody remember the dates? Yeah, Ashleigh,
She's on it over here.
So Montana actually entered pretty early into Prohibition.
Yeah, we're early
which is
adopters.
kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
We're kind of late to the game on a lot of stuff, but
But we were
Prohibition,
on
we're
it.
like,
We're like, no, yes, alcohol bad.
well, and there's a lot of connection with this kind of like the temperance movement. A lot of that was really female driven, you know, and this is right around the time that women are kind of getting some voting rights. Jeanette Rankin in his office, all that interesting contextual stuff. But Montana enters Prohibition. Let's see, I had to fact check it here on our blog.
see, yeah, it's your own
1916,
reference,
right?
Yeah.
1916, we voted for it to begin on December 31st, 1918. And so that's right before that 18th Amendment for the country. That's the word I was thinking of, the country. That's 1920
Okay.
federally.
Yeah, we were on it.
Yeah,
wow.
we're like, stop doing this, guys.
2
That's
years
bad.
early.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's very surprising to me.
Yeah, we
One
have
that Montana even participated, let alone was on the forefront of that.
Well,
yeah.
we're still a control liquor state, so
That's true.
I think still doesn't make sense.
No,
'cause-
it doesn't for us, but
Yeah.
It's
okay.
interesting. Well, and maybe so on our blog, if you look up Prohibition, there's this little we have it in our collection. It's a little tag that a child would wear. It says "Vote Dry for Me, November 7th,"
Oh.
which
So it's
like
like for their
interesting
future kind of.
campaigning.
Yeah, that is
yeah,
interesting
like
campaigning.
do it for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was just that influential.
Yeah. Interesting.
partly.
That's interesting. They had kids kind of be part of the
Oh yeah,
campaign.
it's like it's
smart
not new,
marketing,
too.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it was family driven. Like
Yeah.
you shouldn't be part of a family if you drink, because it'll just degrade your moral compass.
Well, and in our exhibition, you'll see it's a photo of Helena, but it rings true to what was happening in Great Falls too. There's like a beer garden, and we had one of those at the Volk Brewery where the old Dempsey Inn and things like that were. You can see in the photo, there's a group of men around the table. They're hanging out, and then there's the house where everybody else is staying at, where the women and the children are. So there's like this separation between, and they're probably like, guys, like get home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like we
Spend
actually
time with
need
your
your
family.
support.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I do love the 1920s. The clothing from the 20s was spectacular. Even though, you look back on the history of Prohibition and bootlegging, you see girls in those little flapper dresses, and they look like, in my mind, I remember them having drinks in their hand. Maybe, I guess it was just apple juice. Or they were all underground. But I love that look, and I'm like, man, I could have been in that era. That would have been
for the
good
Prohibition
for me.
part, you would have been.
Yeah, I
locked
think
up,
somehow,
or a really good bootlegger,
or in those speakeasies. Like
Yeah.
I think I could have been there.
Yeah.
We'd keep your secret.
Yeah, I'm a
Well,
good secret keeper.
We'd give you the password to get through the door.
Ooh.
So 1920s, fantastic for fashion. Whether
Totally.
you had a champagne or whiskey in your hand or not, I guess is beside the point. How long did Prohibition last?
Prohibition is repealed. Let me just fact check that in case I make up a date.
You can make stuff up. Rebecca does it all the time.
It's true if it's on this podcast, right?
That's
Right.
exactly.
Prohibition
yeah.
ended last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Then
It
we're
has
all
not
in
ended.
trouble.
Yeah, we are still under those rules.
So
Oddly enough.
1933.
Okay.
Holy moly.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I want to say that Montana was also a little early on that one too.
Well,
Let me
we
just
started
fact
2
check
years
it.
early.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I think we got out of it a little early
I-
before the rest of the country too.
Yeah. I didn't realize it
They said
lasted
we'd
that
had it.
long.
We needed
Yeah,
that.
you're like, yeah,
we needed a
that
good
alcohol
drink.
back. Yeah.
We are done with this not drinking thing.
Any,
Yeah, so we're in 1926.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we way ahead of
Substantially before.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's really early. Yeah.
Yeah, comparatively. I mean, but that's still, since we started earlier
We're
too, I mean, that's
experimenting it with
still a
soon,
number of
yeah.
few
I'm going to ask a question that I don't think anybody is going to know the answer to, but I wonder what the federal prohibition, like why were we able to end early
Right.
when the federal hadn't ended? So what is the difference between the two? Like what did they regulate and what did the state regulate?
State
And
versus federal on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and here I say we don't talk about politics. Well, I really want to know.
Well,
I
I
didn't know
Years
that.
ago.
I think about it with like the interstates. Remember that
Speed limit
that
thing?
speed limit nationally was set on the interstates as 65,
Yeah.
and then there had been a certain amount of time where they said, after that time, the states can make their own decisions.
Yeah.
And then it was
That's
Reasonable
all of the
and prudent.
billboards that said, "Hey, Mario Andretti, yes, there is a speed limit in Montana." So I think it's probably something along those lines that, there is still that separation of the federal and the state.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's probably buried somewhere in there.
Because usually it's attached to funding.
Mm-hmm.
When we had to put our speed limit back, it's because they were going to pull all of our federal funding for our roads. And so I just don't know what funding you get for alcohol,
Right.
or maybe it was education funding. Who knows
Who
what
knows?
happened?
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
that
they
important.
lost out on a lot of taxes when it went underground. And
Oh, that
so
is true.
Mm-hmm.
you would think it was the FBI that was after those people making alcohol. It
Yeah.
wasn't.
Probably
They
the
were
Department of-
revenue agents from the
Like that's
Department
right.
of the Treasury.
That is
So
right.
it
When you listen to those
probably
movies.
might be to do with taxes, but I don't know for sure.
No, it
Yeah.
all boils down to money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Anything. Go
Huh.
back. Look for the money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
wonder
isn't
what,
that
like-
how they got Al Capone? Tax evasion,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
peripherally related. He,
Yeah. All the
he
mafia
ran
members.
alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was in those speakeasies too.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, my grandfather knew him in the speakeasies
Really?
in Chicago.
Hey.
I have
Wow.
heard stories of him being here.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I can't remember where. It's probably from Ashleigh.
He probably signed like the wall somewhere, one of the bathroom
he probably
stalls.
signed the guest book.
Yeah.
And like reason for being here, doing mafia business.
Mhm. Yeah.
Park Hotel.
Right. Yeah.
It's just one of those fun things. that
Bootlegging and murder, Yeah.
You'll never prove it. You'll never disprove it. And you
Mhm.
just have folks' stories, which is fun
But-
in its own way.
Yeah.
Which is why they had to get him for tax evasion.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other things that I find really interesting about bootlegging is how it connected to racing and
Yeah.
what is now kind of this
NASCAR.
race culture.
Yeah.
So
Isn't that the whole how NASCAR started?
I think so.
Basically.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that part of it.
I
So
believe
that must
so.
be true.
That's
well,
we're
we
saying
both
it. We both think
we
that's so
both
must be
agree.
onto
So I'm
something
not
there.
getting the weird face from Shannon going, I think you might be off on that one.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I think we're
100%.
Well, they definitely, I was reading about the Bootlegger Trail and them bringing the liquor in from Canada along that Bootlegger Trail, and they were using souped-up engines in their cars
Well, you have to
because
outrun
you
police.
needed to be able to outrun them. So
Revenue
that was
agents.
a specific thing, is they wanted to increase the speed in their cars, which I wonder how fast that speed is in a Model T.
right in the 1920s vehicle. Yeah.
I don't know what production speed was, and I don't know what they were getting out of it, but I'd love to. Like, at its top speed, it'll go 20, but if you do XYZ, we can get her up to 45.
with no seatbelts.
Right. Oof. I think I'd almost
Sliding around
prefer a
on dirt
horse.
roads.
Yeah. The horse will take you places that car's not going to go.
And that
And-
horse could go through that little body of water.
Yeah.
However
True.
little or-
Yes. I can get across that creek.
Well, and when it's a bad hill, those old cars,
Oh,
your
gotta
lowest
just-
gear is reverse, so you have to go up backwards.
What?
Yes, the lowest gear on a car is reverse.
Can you
And
imagine?
So
They
there
just,
are
like,
hills
turn
that
around
they
and back.
would turn and back up because it was the lowest gear on those old cars.
So when we do
That's
rum
hilarious.
running, we know who to take, really.
Right. It's like Connie's got
Yes,
us
Take
figured
our
I
out.
can
Right.
drive a standard, which is not a full skill set these days.
How are you at driving backwards at high speeds?
Not so fabulous.
Okay.
It's all those Forest Service roads I drove on.
Yeah.
You'd end up in a rut or off the side of a cliff.
That's true, though. But with your Forest Service background, you do have a lot of, you can get us
Back
around on
roads.
back roads.
Oh, yeah. No, I could get across that creek. Not a problem.
Perfect. We're
I'm
calling
sure
Connie.
it was a natural ford. And if you're desperate and you're not sure, that's when you gun it.
Yeah, you just pedal the metal on that one.
I envision a group bootlegging trip happening, but I think it would be inauthentic because bootlegging had to have been done with one person in order to keep your speed up, I'd have to think.
Oh, in one of those vehicles.
Yeah.
Well, you
Unless
got the
you
weight of
had
the
the
liquor, right?
passenger who was carrying the gun.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
You
need
do
some
need that.
protection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Strap them to the
Risky.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tommy
exciting.
guns. Are there any stills in the History Museum from our bootlegging past?
We have a still on loan. One of those, like if anybody had a still in Great Falls, they stored it in the fire. No
Yeah,
evidence.
right.
But we do have an awesome still that's on loan from the State Historical Society. And it is cool. It's this copper still.
Ooh.
And when I was looking at it, I realized, we have like 2 copper, it like a big tub in the collection. And those were like, it's grandpa's wash bin, or, we used it to heat water on the stove. It's like, so these are like multi-purpose, big old copper things.
Yeah.
Anyway, rambling on copper. So this was a homemade still, obviously. You can't commercially get it through Sears and Roebuck during
Right.
Prohibition.
But
been
I
a
bet
good
you they
moneymaker,
sold
though.
all the pieces at
Right.
Sears and
Mhm.
Roebuck to
So you
assemble
get
yourself.
your wash basin, you get a couple
Yeah.
parts, you solder it
You can make it
together.
yourself. Yeah.
And then you can distill through. So it's on display at our little Prohibition section of it.
Nice.
It's a cool piece.
That's really neat.
There's so much fun history on Prohibition in our area. Thank you to the History Museum for putting an exhibit together.
Yeah.
We're going to take it one step further and celebrate Prohibition.
Mhm.
Are we not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll celebrate like the opposite of like fighting back.
There you
against
go.
Prohibition, I think.
Mhm. Getting out of it early. Yeah.
Yeah, some bootlegging. on
That's
the-
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us all about this event celebrating it.
Yeah, well, we have coming up October 25th. Please mark your calendars.
Yeah.
Bootlegger Ball.
Ooh.
I'm excited for this one. It
We are
sounds so
really
fun.
excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to, is there like a scavenger hunt involved where it's like, okay, we've buried alcohol somewhere on the hill. First one back gets a prize.
That is a
Well,
great idea.
We weren't, but now we're doing that.
Yeah.
Or just
you
throughout
got to
the
make your
museum.
own liquor
Ooh,
in your
yeah.
own homemade still and bring it for a judging competition.
Ooh, there's that
One
too.
of our
gonna be a big waiver for
board members did say he was going to make some bathtub gin.
Yummy.
But there will be, when you get your ticket, a password to get through the door.
I do like that.
Not just anybody, because what if you guys are from like the IRS?
Right.
We can't let anybody
No,
in.
no one from the IRS. That would be funny if you
Revenue agent.
legit were like, no, I need to see your work history. If you work for the IRS, you are not allowed to come to this. Yeah.
Are you a prohibition agent? You can't come in.
Sorry, you're still paying for that now. IRS. Yeah.
So, Bootlegger Ball, October 25th. Where's it going to be?
It's going to be in our Ozark Club.
Love that
our
space.
Awesome event room. You get to see that big, huge industrial space. Say hi to our tractor. Say hi to the Model T, too. Just picture
There you
that
go.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going
packed
to be
up
the
with booze.
perfect backdrop for
A photo booth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and make sure you study up. We're going to have some content at the History Museum on clothing for 1920s.
Ooh.
Because there will be a costume contest with this too.
Oh.
So it's study up. I'll be talking about some cool period pieces that we have in our collection.
Nice.
I'm going to derail us for a moment
Please.
because we do have coming up the 4-H history of clothing
Yes.
connection. And you're going to do something on the 20s clothing?
Yes.
Oh,
This is
October.
clothing month.
we could do
October is
clothing all the
clothes.
time.
You
That's
know
going to
what?
be so fun.
You know what we should do?
Tell me.
Our outfit of the day inspired social content.
Ooh, there you go.
Mhm.
Kick it off
20s,
there.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
We'll chat later. We have ideas.
Sounds good. But yeah, we with our second Saturday series, we have Leslie Davis Burns coming in. She donated this huge, amazing collection of clothing that she made through the 4-H program, and
In the 20s?
no, so
Okay.
this is 70s. So she's
Oh,
going to be
they're
talking about this.
fabulous.
Also
So
a fun
cool.
fashion era.
She won the fair with this suit that she made for her father, and it is the most picture a 1970s suit, the busiest, the brownest.
Yeah, I was thinking
It is
brown.
great, and she has such skill constructing all these things. That she talks about. So she started in 4-H. She started when she was in elementary school sewing, and she was able to learn from a mentor. She said that she didn't know at the time, but those were like couture techniques that she was
Oh.
working with.
Oh.
And these are so well done. So she has an exciting program about that. Now, that's our free second Saturday event. If you are a member of the History Museum, you can sign up for free. But otherwise, it costs just $20. I am doing a workshop on some clothing preservation care. And in that, we're going to learn, when to hang it, when to box it. What do you need to do for hanging? What do you need to do for padding? All that good stuff. And we're going to take a close look at some of our period pieces, including some 1920s dresses and some costuming from that era. So if you need like a little sneak peek for Bootlegger Ball, you've got to sign up for that to see some of the stuff in person.
October's second Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Right. So there will be the talk,
Yeah.
and then Ashleigh is doing the
Workshop.
textile workshop.
Okay.
So make sure to sign up for that.
Gosh, you got
That
a lot
is
going
really
on in
good.
October. Yeah.
I mean, do you know today, Shannon, whether you should box or hang?
No, the only thing I don't really most of the stuff
trial
I
and
don't
error.
care. I mean, I care, but I'm not trying to preserve these things forever. Although my husband did have my wedding dress sent
that's
away and boxed up for preservation of the wedding dress.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
I learned
That's about all I
trial
know.
and error. You hang a sweater on a.
Oh, you get
put
the-
a hanger on, and then
You can't
these
get the
little
shoulder
nubbins.
nipples or whatever
Yeah.
it's called. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're
Or
called shoulder nipples.
They hang so
technical term.
awkwardly after,
Yeah.
and then you're like, this doesn't even work anymore.
It is trial and error within your own closet of what's going to work or which particular hanger for different
This
shirts.
way,
Yeah.
you don't have to do trial and error
Yeah.
and ruin clothes.
Right.
Ashley's just going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Oh yeah. Well, and some of these, it'll be really cool. It's been a little while since I've been to the 20s in our collection, so we'll get to pull some of those out. And yeah, when we're talking about 20s, I mean, women's fashion is the most exciting part, right?
Absolutely.
100%.
When we're talking, also that's the stuff that survived, right? There's a real
Yeah.
survivorship bias for things that are pretty and things that are cute. If it's a workwear shirt, that probably got worked into the ground.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Especially
off.
with the Depression coming up
Yeah.
after that.
Absolutely.
Good point. Yeah.
But yeah, for women's clothing, so the goal for the 1920s and a lot of this that came out, that you want to be a rectangle. You want to be like
That's
a
the
slinky
shape you're
little
going
rectangle.
for. Okay.
So instead of like really defining your waist, that waistline is going to go all the way down to your hips, and you're going to be like this box.
Yeah,
that is like
interesting.
peak 20s. And when we go
love
into
it.
our collection, so much of the collection there is boxed, because when you get into the fancy stuff, it's all like beaded. And
Well,
there's
and the draping would be so bad if it stayed on a hanger, I would think.
there's so much
Yeah.
weight on those beads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of it is it's just nicely boxed. So we'll talk about, like, you know, when you box, when you hang.
Nice.
So will there be outfit inspiration ideas along the way?
Yeah. We're going through those clothes, getting them photographed to be able to post them online and talk about them. What's really fun, and fortunately we have a really good friend, Lynn Barnes, who's a dress historian in Montana. So I'm
That's
calling her in a
specific. I like
panic.
that. Yeah.
Like saying, Lynn, prep me on, I got to make sure I know my stuff. I know a little bit, but you're the expert. She's such a cool resource. So I'm reaching out to her to help. We have this really cool dress, and so keeping in mind you want to be a rectangle, and your waistline is going to be low. So it's on, if you go this week to the History Museum, you may catch it in our visible vault, this gorgeous dress that belonged to Sue Ford Bovey. And if you're a little history nerd for Great Falls, you'll know, the Bovey Mansion, that's right across from the Gibson House. And the building that the ribbon shop is in, that's the bank that her father opened up. So there's a little Sue Ford context. We've got this dress hanging up. It's got these cool creams and reds. It's got a big old bow on the hip.
Yeah.
So feeling very 20s with that. But the waistline is like a little bit higher, and there's maybe some definition. So
Risque.
I'm going to be just, figuring out with some dress historian help. Do we think that it's early 20s? Do we think that it's late 20s? Or do we think that Sue Ford is like her own woman?
Yeah.
And she's like, this is what I'm wearing no matter what.
Don't care. I still need some definition.
Oh, right.
Right.
Which
And what's
smart.
really, well, and what's really fun is we have a photo of her wearing it too, which we
Oh.
love to see with
Make
our
those
collection.
That's really
Connections.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it brings it to life. Yeah.
So, Bootlegger Ball, you can come and dress in the 20s. What other things can people expect at the Bootlegger Ball?
Well, we're going to have a signature cocktail.
Fun.
This information has not been revealed yet. We're keeping it a little sneaky secret.
Oh.
But
Is there going to be a secret code to get that?
there should
Is
be.
it the board members' bath water gin?
Hopefully not that
It'll
one.
be a bit more sophisticated than that. We're thinking sophisticated dress,
Yeah.
sophisticated drink.
Fair. Yeah, that's good.
And this signature cocktail is guaranteed to not make you go blind too. We have that assurance.
good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I was really worried about
The highest standards.
Yeah, if you ferment a little too long, it could just immediately
Yeah.
blind you. I can see where that would happen. Not a lot of regulations in your old bathtub gin
Right.
making systems there.
Yeah. Other than the bathtub gin, you will feel transported by the cocktail list that you can order off of. Yeah.
That's so fun.
And there'll be a wonderful dinner, and then the
Ooh.
John Gemberling Jazz Combo will be playing that evening. And so they're very excited to be doing this kind of Prohibition theme. And so it's going to be a wonderful gathering. It's going to be so much fun.
I don't know what 1920s food is, but is the food going to be on theme?
That was discussed.
Oh.
And we thought, maybe our palates are a little different than what they were in the 1920s.
A little more flavor involved, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's a little bit on the download too. We'll be revealing it as we go along.
That's
Who's
so
our
exciting.
caterer and all that.
Fun.
Really cool.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
But we know for sure the music, the attire, the drink will all transport you back to 1920.
Oh, yeah.
And the Model T photo booth. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
And don't feel intimidated too. This isn't like you need to be Miss Sue Ford Bovey, daughter of the banking family, to be able to dress here. Like, people dressed casually in the 1920s too.
Yeah.
I bet most parties where you're drinking in Great Falls during Prohibition, you're probably wearing your street clothes.
Probably so.
Probably
Yeah.
jammies.
What do 1920s jammies look like?
I don't know.
I think you're pretty covered.
The only thing I know about the 1920s is flapper dresses. That is it.
Yeah. Well, that's the most fun part anyway.
I know.
Yeah. Well, and I'll be posting, make sure you're following our social media too. On Facebook, we're Cascade County Historical Society, and on Instagram, we're the History Museum GF. But I'll be posting some of our photos from the era too. So you can see like some casual wear. You can see one of my favorite photo collections that we've got is this photo album from a women's hiking group. And that's right around like 1920 or 1919. So they're dressed in, these pants and their boots. Their boots still have like a little heel to them.
Of course.
But they're going around Great Falls and also in Belt and kind of in that
That's
Monarch area
neat.
too. So, you can show up in like your finest 1920s inspired
hiking
wear. Why
I
not?
love that.
Oh, I definitely am going to try to go as a 1920s archaeologist.
There you go. Yeah.
I do have a pith helmet, so that's already covered.
Perfect. You are well on your way.
But even with us talking about how much fun it will be to dress up, do not feel like that is a requirement.
Okay,
We
true.
would
Okay.
love to see you at the event, whatever you want to wear, although,
Clothing,
dress
please.
appropriately. to
Clothing
leave
is
the
not
house.
optional. Yeah.
But yes, no. So you want to have fun with it. But please come either way. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah.
Well, and getting to listen to good jazz isn't
Oh, I
something
love
we
it.
have an opportunity to do all the time.
No.
So,
And that harkens back to this is the jazz nights that you've done in the past at the History Museum and the whole concept of it being the Ozark Room, the Ozark Club, a remembrance of that history in Great Falls as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I learned something last week that I was just shocked by. The first part is not what I was shocked by. The second part is. So Louis Armstrong came and played the Ozark Club back in the day. And because he just loved to play, he also played at a Great Falls prom
Oh,
because he was already here playing the Ozark Club. And he's like, I can play your prom. Could you imagine
No,
having the unique opportunity to have Louis Armstrong play your prom in Great Falls, Montana?
And who
Wish that
knows
could have
if
been the
they
case.
truly appreciated what a big
Oh,
deal that was
right.
at that time.
Right.
Probably not.
No.
Because it'd be like, the Do Bar's got this band, and then they're going to
Yeah.
come over and play the prom.
Right.
And then years later, it's Pearl Jam. You
Right.
know?
Yeah. Like, oh, Pearl Jam played my prom. Yeah.
Oh, it's just cool things. But anyway,
Yeah,
that's the
absolutely.
story.
Yeah.
Do we have a ticket price?
yes. So for members,
Okay.
members of the History Museum, tickets are $65, and for non-members, they're $80.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's a really good time to get
Become
a
a
membership.
member.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
remind
Mhm.
us how we go about being a member and what that involves.
Yeah, so you can look it up ahead of time. You can visit our website for
Mhm.
more information. You'll see that we have
Which
some-
is?
it is Great Falls History Museum.org.
And we'll put links in the show notes to the podcast too for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you'll see that you also have some local business incentives, like buy one drink, get one half price at
Hey.
Albanco Coffee, at Luna Coffee, Phoenix Pearl Tea Company.
Okay. So
Um,
even if you're coming to visit Great Falls,
Oh.
you sign up for a membership for that. Not only do you get benefits
Yeah.
at the History Museum, you're going to get to sample so much more in our businesses and restaurants too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which also we know you come back. So you're
Right.
80% of our visitors are repeat visitors.
Mhm.
So far, good bargain.
Absolutely.
Keep going.
Okay.
Get this membership. Well, and 2 drink coupons for a free drink at the Celtic Cowboy, too.
Ooh, also great.
Oh.
That was an
Mhm.
awesome
Love
one.
that.
Thank you, Celtic.
Mhm.
So that also gets you some free workshops too. So if you need to
Nice.
take that clothing workshop, you
Yeah.
can get that for free with your membership.
Hey.
How much is a membership?
Memberships start at $35.
Oh, that's a real good deal.
Done, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, that pays for itself so quickly with your workshop and a couple drinks at Celtic Cowboy. Boom. Made up
Definitely.
for it right there.
Done.
Yeah.
And it's great to support, this local history institution. Membership is what helps us operate. It makes sure that we can do things like this and that I can spend time going through the boxes, researching these clothing and getting our collection to the public. Yeah.
And Bootlegger Ball is a fundraiser event. Other than the food, the jazz, the secret drinks, the photo booth, is there going to be other opportunities to throw money at the History Museum during that night?
There will also be a silent auction.
Hey, fun.
Yes. So if there are businesses out there that are interested in contributing to the silent auction, feel
Love
free
that.
to contact
Especially
us for that.
a bootlegger theme.
Yes.
Yes.
It is going to be so much fun when you see the baskets we're going to be putting together for these silent auction items. So yes, there will also be the silent auction there. But you're also welcome to donate at any time. We're not going to say no to your money.
Connie, here's an auction item I think you should do is a bootlegging tour with Connie driving, because you've talked about your ability on the back roads. We do a bootlegging tour with you driving. You just go through all these little creeks and
she
overland.
drives and you can sample the
right.
wares.
There we go.
Well, I'm not sure that's legal in Montana. Is there an open?
Trust me, that will be a fine to do.
There's going to be a big
I'm
waiver.
a rule follower.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, there is definitely a waiver for that one.
So just suggesting that is another auction item for you. Yeah.
I like
We
it.
don't know the logistics of anything, but seems like a
We're
good
just
plan.
idea people, so you take it and run. Outside of the Bootlegger Ball, Connie, I'm curious if in your time that you've been at the History Museum now, which has been a couple of months, not even.
2 months.
Okay, 2 months. What has been what stood out to you? I mean, you have this new research center, the Visible Vault, and just extensive collections and exhibitions. You got the third floor there with all kinds of fun hidden treasures. What stood out to you most, or what kind of history of Great Falls has stood out to you when you've taken kind of your first walkthroughs through exhibitions and files and things like that?
Well, actually, the most amazing thing is the staff that I have.
Yeah.
I am so blessed with Ashleigh and Megan and Jean and the rest of the staff. They're just absolutely amazing. And I couldn't be doing as well as I'm doing without them. So first off, I need to make that shout out.
Yeah.
But one of the joys of being in a museum and having the keys to the back rooms is you get to find unusual items that you just either walk by on a shelf and you're like, whoa. Okay, so I walk by and I'm like, what the heck is that? Oh, that's a mermaid's tail from the Sip and Dip.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is really important to the history of Great Falls.
Yeah.
It's an important business. It's longstanding, and that connection with the mermaids, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
We have a mermaid's tail. That's an important part of the collection.
Yeah.
But we also have things that people might not roll their eyes at, like JFK's podium when he spoke here in Great Falls shortly before he was assassinated. And so there's this whole breadth of objects. But we also have all of these amazing documents. We were sitting there going, oh, okay, what are some of the items that are documents that we have that are important? And Megan pipes up and says, oh, we have a letter signed by Helen Keller. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Wow.
Well, of course we do.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
So she
That's
was
amazing.
writing to the Lions Club and saying how much she appreciated their supporting people that are blind.
Wow.
So yes, would you expect a letter with Helen Keller's signature here in Great Falls?
Great Falls, when you think of like, oh, it's just a little local history museum. No, like this is far-reaching.
Yeah.
We're
history.
a big deal.
Yeah. There's all of these amazing little things that you may not think about encountering. And so that's one of the joys of coming to the museum. But we also have people that stop in, people that have scheduled research, or people that happen to be traveling through and have some sort of family connection in the past. And we're able to help them find things. This gentleman came in the other day, and there are these large bound copies of the Great Falls Tribune. And he gets permission. He would get it out, put it on the book rest for him. He's looking through. I just found my birth announcement. He shouts to his wife.
So funny.
He's so excited. And that pure joy of seeing people interacting with their history or our history in general and learning about Great Falls and this amazing history that we have here, you know, all of these connections and pieces coming together and seeing them understand something and go, oh, that's why. You know, it's just a true pleasure to see people learning and engaging with history. And so whether it's in the back room or watching someone working in the visible vault or pulling out the Tribune and just physically engaging with that paper and touching, which is not always something you can do in a museum.
Right.
But yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful experience to be able to support that.
That is what leaves me speechless.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. That's
Yes
just
to
so
all
neat.
of that.
Yes to all of that.
Oh, maybe they'll have me back on again.
Yeah. Oh, doors open, please. Yes. Okay. And did we tell people where they can get, going back to the Bootlegger Ball, I got us sidetracked. I'm sorry. Where people can get tickets?
Yes, at the History Museum.
Okay.
You can call or you can visit us.
Perfect. Okay. Can I get them the night of can I show up the night of and get a ticket?
Ooh.
Yes, it's not a guarantee. You could do that, but it's possible we might sell out. So, yeah.
Okay. So if
Don't
you're
wait.
coming, just call and say, hey, I want my tickets. Save me a spot.
Yes.
You can call. If you come in, the other membership benefit you can get is you get a discount in our gift shop.
Which is a fabulous gift shop. I love your gift shop.
Oh, thank you.
Which, you know, Bootlegger Ball starting to get into November after that. You're going to start
this is
thinking about
smart.
Christmas shopping.
Yep.
So
Very smart.
there's always great things in the gift shop.
So to clarify, you don't want people to just reserve their ticket when they call. Can you take payment over the phone?
Yes, we
Okay.
absolutely can.
Perfect. Good.
So
And we have a
online
will
or
call
come in.
box and all that stuff. So
Okay.
if
Perfect.
you want your tickets kept safe with us, we do that.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
You'll have to
I
have
love
your
it.
super secret code when you go to
That's
get there.
right.
True. Do not forget the password.
That's right.
Well, I am excited for the Bootlegger
am too.
Ball.
It
I
sounds
love
like a
this
blast.
reinvigoration of the jazz music and fun to be had. Again, you don't need to dress up in the 1920s, but why wouldn't you? For
Right.
goodness sakes. There's an opportunity to don your 20s apparel and get out there. Full with speakeasy secret words and secret drinks and beautiful opportunities. Spend the night supporting something that is just amazing in our community, the History Museum, covering all of Cascade County, which is so much history, so much cool stuff. Because as a Great Falls resident says, Great Falls is the center of the world, and it certainly is the center of Montana's history with our dams and all the other fun things that have ever happened. So if you don't know Great Falls history, you don't know much about Montana.
Very true.
That's what I say.
Nice.
And you can be the expert on that.
Yeah, I can be. I can say whatever I want.
Well, thank you both so much for coming in and sharing about the History Museum and about the Bootlegger Ball and bootlegging past. And there's so much more we can dive into. And hopefully we'll get a chance to do that too in a variety of ways on our social channels as well in the future.
Yeah,
Well,
so
thank
get
you.
your tickets, plan for October 25th. And until we see your bright, smiling, happy, healthy, beautiful faces in our fair city, we do hope you're creating amazing memories with your friends and family, wherever you might be. We'll see you soon.
We Are No Dam Experts is the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana, covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town.